Hey, what's up? It's Matt Japan. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're taking a look at from Transformers Legacy Evolution. This is Autobot DEVCON. So it's a quick look at the packaging. Very standard fare here for the Legacy Evolution packaging. You have your country codes there. You have your QR code if you want to pause and scan that. Down the side, we have Takara Tomy, Generations logo, Transformers. And there you see DEVCON in his alt mode. Very cool looking spaceship mode. And there you see him packed in his robot mode. He is an Autobot, DEVCON, Legacy, Evolution, Deluxe Class, plastic-free packaging. You do see a very cool image of him in action there. And then you see a close-up of his head. Just love that head sculpt, looking very nice. Product information on the side. You have your standard fare for the artwork on the side here, plastic-free packaging. And on the back is where we see our product images. Autobot DEVCON. There's the Evo Fusion gimmick. And he converts in 13 steps to his alt mode. So looking very, very cool. So without further ado, let's bust open Autobot DEVCON. See what he's all about. All right, here we have DEVCON out of the box. And before we get into his details, let's take a quick look at his accessories. He does come with 3 accessories. The first one being his blaster here, which is done in a blue plastic with some really nice silver paint over the top. And I really like the way this blaster turned out. Some really nice detail on there. You get the 5mm ports on either side. And that leads me to the next detail in the accessory, which is these other blasters or sort of add-ons. They can be used as I'll show you in a sec, as you know, sort of like a jetpack or like boosters, but they're done in a blue plastic with some really nice glossy red paint over the top, and they're exactly the same, and some really nice molded detail on those as well. So very, very cool. And they are sort of reverse blast effect compatible. You have blast effect compatible things there and on the front. So anyways, the official instructions say to put them like this, so that these guys are sort of facing back like that. And basically you can have him holding that as a gun, just like as a traditional sort of hand weapon like that. So you can just plug it in like that if you like that look. Or what I like is actually taking that off and putting it on his forearm, just kind of turning his forearm like that and plugging it in like that. I think that is a very cool look like that. So sort of a forearm mounted, I think it's a plasma blaster. I think that's what they called it back in the day. Again, I don't really know much about this guy. I know he's a bounty hunter for the Autobots and things like that. And but otherwise, I really don't know a lot about the character himself. But you know, the fact that there's an Autobot bounty hunter is that's enough for me. That's very cool. So he did have a sort of short-lived appearance in the G1 cartoon. But anyway, so some other things you can do with these sort of side pieces here. You can take these off, and again, you can just have him armed up with just the handgun by itself like that. So that's how he looks there. So there are many things you can do with these sort of side pieces here. So again, there are ports on the back, so these will just plug in like that and like so. So you can have them sort of like leg boosters, like flying around there, like that's pretty cool. Also on the back here, on the backpack, it does have slots here. So you can put in sort of like a jetpack there. And again, have him flying through the skies. Again, it sort of makes his backpack look even bigger than it already is. And you can take these off. And again, you can put them on his shoulders. So yeah, tons of playability with these extra parts. And you can have him armed up like so. You can have him flying up like that. Or again, you can put them on his forearms like so. So this guy is tons of ports and things, so you can pretty much do what you want with him, arm him up how you want. Personally, I like either the combined mode or just having it on the backpack. So anyways, getting his accessories off. And let's take a quick look at DEVCON's details. First and foremost, let's take a look at that head sculpt. Very, very cool. If you've seen the G1 cartoon, it's very true to the cartoon. You get the nice silver paint for the face. You get some nice, it's kind of hard to tell, but there are some sort of light blue eyes under there. And then he does have the head-mounted laser cannon, which is done in a silver paint. Very, very cool. I'm not sure if I think that's blast effect compatible. You can probably put a small blast effect on there. And just the detail on the helmet is very, very cool. It goes all the way around, even on the back. There's some really nice detail there. So I'm glad they did a full helmet and not just kind of, you know, made it hollow or plain back there. So it's very, very cool. Going down the figure, just some really nice detail all around this figure. On the arms there, you get some really nice detail there. You get some nice silver paint picked out there for the chest. You get the nice big Autobot logo there. And some nice sculpt work on the sides there. You get little sort of lights there on the side, done in red paint. Again, some nice silver for the abdomen, some red paint there on the arms as well. Now this guy is a retool of Blur, so we will bring him in a second for a comparison there. But yeah, for the most part, there's some really nice detail going all around this figure. There's some sort of silvery gray done for the legs there. And then down here you get some really nice glossy red paint for the lower shins. And then the feet are done in the red plastic. So very, very cool. And that is how he looks from the back. And again, yeah, like I showed you, he does kind of have a honking backpack, but that is to be expected for a sort of retool of the Blur mold. So speaking of the Blur mold, let's bring him in for a comparison. So yeah, pretty heavy retool of Blur right here. So you can see, there are some similarities. There are a lot of differences. It's actually a pretty heavy retool. I think the only real similarity is the upper thighs, and I think the toes. I think everything else has been remolded. Maybe the back piece there. No, that's all different too. That's all been totally remolded. The fists are different. The forearms. Everything else is pretty much different. But it is a very heavy retool of the Blur mold. Again, you do see some similarities between the toes and the thighs. So just a quick comparison there of Blur. And the comparison we always have to make here, if we're talking about DEVCON, is Smokescreen. So there the two are, back in action, Smokescreen and DEVCON. There they are, very cool, nice comparison there. So anyways, yeah, let's pause, let's get into DEVCON's articulation. Okay, articulation for DEVCON is as follows. His head is just on a swivel, so it does the full 360. There's no real side-to-side movement, a little bit, tiny little bit of wiggle-waggle there, but not a whole lot. He does have a little bit of forward movement there, and just a tiny bit of side to side, but other than that, not too expressive on the head. His arms can go all the way around, although they do get hindered by the backpack there. There's a shoulder hinge there. There is an upper bicep swivel. Actually, sorry, there is no bicep swivel. There is a elbow swivel, and there's 90 degrees at the elbow. There's absolutely nothing at the hands. So that is a bit unfortunate. So kind of limited in the arm articulation. He does have a waist swivel, which doesn't really get hindered by the backpack. It barely clears there. If you can see there, it's barely clearance there, but it can go all the way around. He can do the full splits like that. So, and there's no thigh swivel there. It's just on a mushroom peg there. So you do get a little bit of movement right there. And then he can kick back that far. He can kick that much. And he has a 90 degree at the knee. And then down on the toe area, there is a little bit of ankle rocker pivot, as we saw again with the Blur mold. So, and toes can go forward a little bit. That is because of transformation. But if you want to call that a toe pivot, you definitely can, because that is a very deep toe pivot. And so that is pretty much the articulation for DEVCON. So yeah, let's get into DEVCON's transformation. All right, let's get DEVCON all transformed into his spaceship mode. So first thing you want to do is take his arms here on the back, and you want to just open up this section here, and you want to just flip these out and do a 180. I guess if you wanted to, you can close that back up. Make sure that's lined up. You can close that back up and have like an arm that's like like a Mega Man arm, I guess. And it is blast effect compatible, so you could actually throw some blast effects and just have one arm like that, which is very cool. But for the spaceship mode, you want to do that on both sides. So basically open up this part here, do a 180 on the fist, and then put that back down like that. And then just get his arms out of the way for now. Next thing we're going to do is just pull up his backpack, and this will just extend on a hinge joint like that. And we're just going to put that up just to get it out of the way for now. Next thing you want to do is go down to the legs here. And then we're going to open up his legs. So again, these hinge out to the side like that. And then we're going to take the feet and just put them back like that, so they're flat against there. And then basically what we're going to do is going to fold up the feet like so, and like so. And then basically at this point you can take the two tabs there and slot them together so they fit together like that. And then on the back, again, getting that backpack out of the way there. There are two slots right here, which we're going to close these up here. And then these little tabs on the bottom of the feet will tab right in there. So you're going to close that up, tab those in, close that up, tab those in. Just making sure those are lined line up, and then if those line up, and then these feet will come together. Just make sure everything is squeezed together. So that is the back all done. And then basically what you want to do is take the arms now, and there is a tab here and a tab here which will slot into place on the forearm. So you're going to take his arms and just sort of turn them a little bit and just make sure those are tabbed in on either side. Again, fold the arms down, slot those in, just making sure they're tabbed in. They stay pretty securely, again making sure everything's tabbed together. Now last thing you want to do is take this part. There are two tabs right here which will slot in on either side of his head. So you're going to bring this section down, tab that in like so, and then you're going to take this piece and fold it up. And again, two tabs which will slot into pieces right here and right here. And there you have DEVCON in his spaceship mode. So very, very cool. Now there is weapon storage as well. You can take his gun and put it up here like that. And then you can take the two little, the little, whatever you want to call them, the little boosters here, and they will fit on the, again, they do peg in certain ways, so you want to make sure you have them on the right sides. And that completes the look of DEVCON. So wow, look at that. Very cool spaceship mode. I think this is a very clever reuse of that blur mold, and I think this pulls it off way better. So anyways, taking a look at the details here. On the front, you get some really nice silver paint for the front gun there, and you get some nice detail going down there. Looks like there should have been an Autobot logo there. It's like the perfect shape for an Autobot logo. I might slap a sticker on there, but anyways, again, we see that sort of detail mimicked in robot mode on the spaceship mode. You get the silver and red, looking very, very cool. Again, just molded detail. I love this part the most. Some really nice detail in there on the back section. And that's how he looks from the side. Very sleek, very cool. You can just imagine DEVCON, blasting through space in this mode. Very, very cool. And again, it's all blast effect compatible. You can put blast effects on the back there. I only have the one right now, but that just shows you how you can put blast effects there. Or you can put a blast effect. I'm not really sure if it works so much here. You can kind of squeeze it in there, I guess. But yeah, there is tons of playability and blast effect compatibility. Again, on this front part, I don't think this... Yeah, actually, this part is not blast effect compatible, but this part is, if you put the gun on like that. So anyways, yeah, tons of playability in this mode. Very, very cool. Just love the sleek look of this. Very aerodynamic. Anyways, bringing in Blur for a comparison, you can definitely see where they got the cues from for a retool here. And I mean, even though they're totally different, there are, obvious parts that are the same. Mostly just the feet here, though, in this mode. So, but it is a very heavy retool of the Blur mold. So just bringing him in side by side, just doing a quick comparison there. So yeah, very, very cool. Love the alt mode, love the robot mode, everything looks great. So let's pause, I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so some final thoughts for Legacy DEVCON as we see him armed up to the gills with some blast effects. Yeah, this is a great figure. I think it's a very clever use of the old Blur mold, and it's different enough that it becomes its own figure. And yeah, kudos to Hasbro for bringing back these sort of obscure characters from like the G1 cartoon. Again, I don't really know much about DEVCON, but I'm glad he's in my collection now, and very, very cool. Tons of playability, not only with the blast effect compatibility, but just with the extra weapons, the boosters. You can put them on his legs, his shoulders, use them as a backpack, jetpack, whatever you want to do. So yeah, a really lot of fun with this figure. The articulation is a little limited in the upper body, but not too bad. You can get him in some very cool poses. And overall, yeah, again, a top-notch figure, and very happy with this guy. So anyways, this has been the video review for Transformers Legacy Evolution DEVCON. Bounty Hunter DEVCON. So yeah, this has been Matt in Japan, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.